Hi again. So we're back and we're going to look at what is known as the laws of diffusion and innovation. It's quite well known to many people, but I want you to just spend a few moments going through this with me so that you get an understanding of what you need to be doing when you want to trade in the UK. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're wanting to trade with business to business or whether you're wanting to trade with business direct to consumer. You should be doing the same things here that we're going to talk about as the law of diffusion and innovation. Okay, let's just get this so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so what are we talking about and how does this relate to the UK market? Well, we've got 66 million people at the moment or thereabouts, and it's growing. Now, if your product is brand new to the marketplace, then you've got to educate us in the UK on what your product is. You've got to find your route to market. Now, how are you going to do that? One way is by sending out some free samples to the end user consumer or to your trade partners so that they can get those samples out in the marketplace, working samples, not production samples that are still going to be finished, but working samples, so that people can try them and test them and come back to you with feedback and reviews. Now, what happens is at the very beginning with something brand new, you've got to educate us. As simple as that. You've got to tell us what it's all about. And then you go into the second phase of this law, which is the early adopters. And those are the people that say, yes, I'm quite happy to buy it. So this is possibly phase two. Phase one, you've got to get into the market, and you might have to do that by giving some free product away to key people, maybe key decision makers, maybe key users of the product at the end of the supply chain. And it may be consumers if you're going direct to the consumer market. So that you get some of the early adopters who will then purchase it. Now, those may need to be heavily discounted purchases. And that will be in order for you to, again, get reviews. At the moment in the UK with online business, reviews are the most important thing about your product. It doesn't matter who is in the supply chain to that end user customer. You have got to get product reviews, and you've got to get people talking about your product, either business to business within the trade and the trade press, or consumer through social media. So that is one of the things that you need to do at the very beginning. And I would say give discounts of up to 90% off whatever the trade or retail price is to that end user consumer. So you're going to have to go to your trade partners and you're going to have to say to them, I want to bring this into the market and we are going to help you market it, and we're going to give you up to 90%. We might give you the first 100 units free of charge, get them out there. Then the second 200 units, you're going to get a 90% discount to get them out there and get people coming back and get people giving you feedback. Now, that is the first thing you've got to do to get there. Now, if your market is in this area here, so you're already in the mass market, where you've got the people that are buying it because it's the must-have, or it's the people that have already heard about it and they're going to buy it, or your product is a copy of something else that is already in a mature market, then you've obviously got a great opportunity for sales, but you've got to beat your competition. So at this point, you have got to find out what your competitors are doing, and you've got to be sure that the people you are dealing with as your trade suppliers understand how to look at what the competitors are doing. Now, we're coming back onto competitors in another video, but this is what you've really got to set your sights on by understanding the UK market. And in the next video, we'll be going into the demographics a little bit more so that you can get a good understanding. Now, we use the term for the back end where the market is perhaps it's gone past maturity and it's now a dropping market or a dying market. So those are the laggards. So those are the people that are, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to do this. Now, your market, this point here, so where you go from early adopters to late majority, either ends of those scales, the time of that market may be anything from 3 months to 30 years. It depends on your business, and I can't tell you what that time frame is going to be because I don't know your business whilst I'm recording these videos, but it depends on your business and on your product and on the product's lifespan. So you have also got to be very focused on that area. So if you're going business to business, absolutely brilliant. Do the UK sellers understand the market that they're in? You might think that this is fairly fundamental and straightforward. I've dealt with a lot of businesses in the UK in both import and export. And when you ask them, how is the competitive market? What is happening? They will give me their sales figures, they'll give me numbers, they'll give me volumes, they'll give me statistics. But that doesn't tell me they understand how to actually reach the market so that you can sell more product. And that is one of the challenges you've got to overcome with dealing with UK people. You have got to understand that they know and understand the business that you are in, and they understand how to get to the end user customer against the competition. Again, if you're making a trade partnership agreement with one reseller in the UK of your product or service, and they seem to be giving you a brilliant deal, but you're not looking at the competitors and what they're doing, you might tie yourself up with a great deal and sell no product and no service, or very little product and very little service, purely because they don't understand how to get into the mass market. They're not looking at the demographics. They're not looking at where their target market is at that time and how mature that market is, whether it's an early educational market, a mid-market, a mature market, or whether it is a declining market. But let's go into the next video so that you can actually start looking at some of the demographics of dealing with the UK, and a lot of that information is going to come via spreadsheet format and will be available to you. So I will see you in the next video.